Welcome to the rapid-fire game that puts high school students on the academic playing field. It's WHIO. Here's your host, Mike Hartsock.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to WHIO. Today, the Beavercreek Beavers go for 4 wins in a row and a spot in our playoffs. They're challengers from Russia, the Raiders. We're glad to have you with us today, and we're looking forward to a good game between Russia and Beavercreek. Our game's very simple. It's 4 rounds of competition. The first round, each question worth 10 points. If you correctly give me the answer, you get the 10 points. If you miss the question, the other team can buzz in and steal that 10-point question with the answer. So teams, if you're ready, let's say we get started and play WHIO. Manna from heaven is found in the book of Exodus. What problem did it solve for the Hebrews? Joey from Beavercreek.
Hunger.
Hunger. They were out of food. That's correct. The opening line of this popular TV program was, "Your mission, Jim, should you choose to accept it." Steve from Beavercreek.
Mission impossible.
Mission impossible is correct for 10 points. Okay, look now at the TV monitors. This state is the home, Steve from Beavercreek.
South Carolina.
Home of the Gamecocks, the Cougars, and the Tigers, as well as the first shots in the Civil War. That's correct. Who was the first black American to be featured on a postage stamp? Andy from Russia.
George Washington Carver.
Incorrect. Beavercreek chance to steal. Joey.
Frederick Douglass.
No, Booker T. Washington was the correct name. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police had a member who was their media personification. Kevin from Beavercreek.
Dudley Do-Right.
Incorrect. Let me finish the question for Russia. What was this sergeant's name? Was it Bilko or York or Preston? Andy.
York.
No, it was Preston. Sergeant Preston was the correct answer. Okay, here's a sports question for you. Name both teams that contended for the 1998 National League Championship. Steve from Beavercreek.
The Atlanta Braves and the San Diego Padres.
That's correct for 10 points. Another sports question. Speaking of baseball, who set an all-time career record by hitting 6 home runs in the All-Star game? Andy from Russia.
The American League.
No, I need I was looking for a person. Beavercreek, a chance to steal. Steve.
Ken Griffey Jr.?
No, we're talking Stan the Man Musial from the St. Louis Cardinals. What is the phrase or term, 2 words we're talking about, that is used to describe the systemic discrimination that blocked the advancement of women and minorities in business and in organizations? That's called the glass ceiling, is what we were looking for. In 1967, a very short war took place between Israel and Egypt. Kevin from Beavercreek.
6 Days War?
It was called the 6-Day War. That is correct. 2 wild and crazy guys were very popular on Saturday Night Live for several years. Steve from Beavercreek.
The Festrunk Brothers.
That's incorrect. Let me finish the question for Russia. Each has gone on to make many movies and to continue their popularity with the public. Can you name these 2 wild and crazy guys? Andy.
Aykroyd and Martin.
Yeah, Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd. That is correct for 10 points. The Stutka, the Zero, and the Spitfire were all famous in the 1940s. What were they? Kevin from Beavercreek.
Fighter planes.
They were military aircraft. That is correct, fighter planes. The body's perfect filter system, our kidneys, have an outer and an inner rim. What is the name for the inner rim of this vital organ? It's called the cortex. What was the name of the Greek god of the underworld who was Joey from Beavercreek?
Hades.
Incorrect. Let me finish the question for Russia. Who was thus the ruler of the dead? Disney created a dog character by the same name. Andy.
Pluto.
Pluto is correct for 10 points. This TV comedy character came out on her show. Nick from Russia.
Ellen.
Ellen DeGeneres is correct. Okay, mental math time. Listen carefully. Add 125 and 375, divide that by 5, subtract 50, and then multiply by 5. Anita from Beavercreek.
250.
250 is correct for 10 points. Olestra is now found in a number of manufactured food products. What is Olestra? Joey from Beavercreek.
Artificial fat.
It's artificial fat. That's correct for 10 points. The Taft-Hartley Act of 1947 was designed to do which of the following? Promote labor peace, or aid farmers, or speed war recovery in Europe? Kevin.
Promote labor peace.
Promote labor peace is correct for 10 points. Kristallnacht is famous in world history because it was the Joey from Beavercreek.
The beginning of the persecution of Jews in Nazi Germany.
That's more than I needed. I just needed the Jews. That's correct for 10 points. He won 7 gold medals in the 1972 Olympics. Andy from Rushi.
Spitz.
Mark Spitz is correct. And those were swimming gold medals, by the way. In the 1920s, your great-grandparents or your great-great-grandparents might have known about a blind pig. It had to do with what was being made illegal. Andy from Rushi.
Alcoholic drinks.
No. We were looking for a speakeasy, which was a place where you got alcoholic drinks. So we're at the end of round 1 in today's game between Beavercreek and Rushi. On the scoreboard, Beavercreek off to the early lead, 100-45. We're back with more right after this. We already have 2 teams advancing on to our championship finals at the end of the season. Beavercreek trying to become the 3rd. They have 3 wins and looking to make it 4 right now with a 100-40 lead, correcting our score over Rushi. Time now for the second round, but before we get to our second round, let's meet our 2 teams. Up first, we're going to start on top with Beavercreek. Anita, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Anita Roy, and I'm a senior at Beavercreek.
Kevin Miller, I'm a senior.
I'm Joey DeLong, and I'm a junior at Beavercreek.
My name's Steve Fiore, and I'm a sophomore.
Okay, down on the bottom row, the Rushi Raiders getting ready for homecoming this weekend, and Andy be our starter.
My name is Andy Wendelin. I'm a senior.
Nick Daniel, I'm a senior.
Mark Hoying, I'm a junior.
Adam Timmerman, I'm a sophomore.
All right. Time for our bonus round on HiQ. We'll ask 10-point toss-up questions. The team that correctly answers it then gets a chance to answer up to 3 more questions for as much as 30 additional points. The team says your first toss-up question. Here we go. What Cincinnati Red Star was the only player to win 2 consecutive MVP awards? Andy from Rushi.
Johnny Bench.
No, incorrect. And we finish the question for Beavercreek. 2 consecutive MVP awards in the 1970s. He is now a baseball announcer at ESPN. Little Joe Morgan was the correct answer. Another 10-point toss-up. The Lord appears to Moses in the form of a burning bush to give him instructions. In what book of the Bible is this event recorded? Steve from Beavercreek.
Exodus.
That is correct. And bonus questions for Beavercreek. I'll name the song. You tell me the name of the musical from which it comes. For 5 points, Oh, What a Beautiful Morning.
Oklahoma.
Correct. Nice guess. Nice guess, Kevin. For 10 points, On the Street Where You Live.
West Side Story?
No, that was My Fair Lady.
Oh.
Okay, another 10-point toss-up. Name the company which is the producer of that impossible image of female beauty, the Barbie doll. Steve from Beavercreek.
Mattel.
Mattel is correct, and bonus questions once again for the Beavers. Can you do an essay? How about answers that all begin with the letters S-A? For 5 points, wife of Abraham and mother of Isaac.
Sarah.
That's correct. For 10 points, a woodwind instrument in the school band.
Saxophone.
That is correct. And for 15 points, a stone coffin.
Sarcophagus.
That is correct. Nice job, 30 points on that one. Another 10-point toss-up question. The assassination of Archduke Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne on June 28, 1914. Kevin from Beavercreek.
Started World War I.
Led to the start of World War I. That is correct for 10 points. And bonus questions once again for Beavercreek. The Taliban group of very conservative Islamic fighters now controls key parts of Afghanistan. 5 former Soviets, now independent nations who are also largely Islamic in religion, but they are very worried about Taliban. For 5 points, name any one of these 5 Central Asian nations located to the north of Afghanistan.
Kazakhstan.
That is correct. For 10 points, Give me another one.
Uzbekistan.
That's correct. And for 15 points, name a third.
Tajikistan.
That is correct. Nice job. 30 points on the steal, or on the bonus. Which president threatened to punch a writer who had been critical of the musical performance of the president's daughter? Was it Andrew Jackson, Harry Truman, or Lyndon Johnson? Andy from Russia.
Johnson.
No, incorrect. Chance to steal Beavercreek. Steve.
Truman.
It was Harry Truman. That's correct. And bonus questions once again for Beavercreek. The theater brings us much enjoyment in several terms. For 5 points, what is the name of verse written in iambic pentameter without rhyme?
Blank verse.
Blank verse is correct. For 10 points, what is the name for a type of drama which ends happily for the protagonist?
A comedy.
Comedy is correct. And for 15 points, name the punctuation mark used most frequently within quotations to indicate that something has been left out.
Ellipsis.
That is correct. Nice job. 30 points on that bonus round. The Andy Griffith Show was set in the small rural town of Mark from Russia.
Don Knotts.
No, incorrect. Let me finish the question for Beavercreek. The small rural town of Mayberry. In what state was this mythical town supposed to be located? Beavercreek, chance to steal. Steve.
Georgia.
No, it was in North Carolina. Mayberry, North Carolina, right next to Mount Pilot, you know. There was a major fad in the early and mid-1990s called the Macarena. What was that? Andy from Russia.
A dance.
A dance fad. I never could do it. That's bonus questions for Russia. It is a capital idea. For 5 points, name the capital for the nation of Spain.
Madrid.
That's correct. For 10 points, name the capital of Poland.
Warsaw.
And for 15 points, name the capital for Guyana.
Freetown.
No, Georgetown, what we were looking for. Another 10-point toss-up. Which two teams played in the 1998 American League? Mark from Russia.
The Indians and the Yankees.
Yeah, the Indians and the Yankees, the American League Championship Series. Russia gets bonus questions again. How's your biblical history? For 5 points, who received the 10 Commandments?
Moses.
For 10 points, who was the oldest man named in the Bible?
Methuselah.
Correct. And for 15 points, a king himself, son of David, known for his wisdom.
Solomon.
Solomon is correct. Nice job. 30 points on that bonus round. We're at the end of our second round between Beavercreek and Russia. On the scoreboard, the Beavers still have a lead of 235 to 110. We'll be back with rapid fire right after this. Well, we're halfway deep into today's game between the Beavercreek Beavers and the Russia Raiders, and checking out the score right now, Beavercreek leads Russia 235 to 110. Jim Upoff joins us. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, Mike, and to both our teams and to all our viewers out there. A good New Year.
Okay, let's play rapid fire now, and in the rapid fire round, each team, I should say, gets 1 minute to answer as many 10-point questions as they can. Any questions they pass on or incorrectly answer, the other team can give the correct answer and steal those points away. Russia, you're trailing right now, so your choices are south of the border, A+, or said what? What's it going to be, Andy?
We're going to take A+.
A+ it is. Listen closely, Beavercreek, you'll have a chance to steal. Here we go. For 10 points each and within the 1 minute time, name as many of these 15 items as you can. Each begins with the letter A. Here we go. This state was called Seward's Folly when it was
Alaska.
purchased from Russia. Humans and animals with a congenital lack of color.
Albino.
A fruit associated with Isaac Newton.
Apple.
An island federal prison in San Francisco
Alcatraz.
Bay. Curly wool from young lambs in a large city in Russia.
Pass.
A tree called a trembling poplar because it sways with the slightest
Ash.
wind. Pardon me?
Ash.
Wife of second U.S. president.
Abigail Adams.
Correct. Those who attempted to turn base metal into gold during the Middle Ages.
Alchemist.
A counting device using
Abacus.
movable beads. British novelist famous for her novels
Agatha
of...
Christie.
Pardon me? No, that's incorrect. The science that deals with sound, its production and
Acoustics.
transmission. Correct. The word for phrases such as happy homecoming or perplexing problem.
Alliteration.
That's correct. Black tennis champion. He won Wimbledon.
Crash.
That's correct. 13 questions, 1, 2, 3 that you didn't get. So Beavercreek, a chance to steal on those. Curly wool from young lambs, also a large Russian city.
Angora.
No, I've got Astrakhan. Okay. A tree called a trembling poplar because it sways with the slightest
Aspen.
wind. Pardon me?
Aspen.
Aspen is correct. And British novelist famous for her novels of
Jane
manners
Austen.
such as Sense and Sensibility.
Jane.
Jane
Austen.
Austen is correct for 10 points. And now it's Beavercreek's turn to play. Rushi, listen closely. You'll have a chance to steal. Is it going to be said what or south of the border? Kevin?
South of the border.
South of the border it is. Here we go. It is a major world language and millions of Americans speak Spanish. For 10 points each, give the English word or words for as many of these 15 Spanish words as you can. Now, excuse me, because I didn't take Spanish in high school, so here we go. We'll try it. Agua.
Water.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
Bien.
Good.
Azul.
Blue.
Hablar.
To
To
speak.
speak.
Libro.
Book.
Madre.
Mother.
Primero.
First.
Repertoire.
To repeat.
Tener.
To have.
Verano.
Summer.
Militar.
Pass.
Nuevo.
New.
Mucho.
A lot.
Much.
Gracias.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's correct. All 15 of those got 2 that you didn't get. Chance to steal Rushi. Repertoire. To report. And militar.
To fight.
No, military was what we were looking for there. Okay, that's the rapid fire round. Let's go back to the scoreboard and check it out one more time. Beavercreek looking to make it 4 in a row, and they've got a 130-point lead heading into the final exam. We'll have that when we come back. The Beavercreek Beavers now 1 round away from advancing to our championship playoffs. The Russia Raiders hope to get in the way of that. On the scoreboard right now, Beavercreek 375, Russia 245, heading into the final exam where each question is now worth 20 points. The teams, if you're ready, hands on your buzzers, let's go. The FCC chairman, Newton Minow, coined the phrase a vast wasteland, and it stuck. To what aspect of the media was he referring? Kevin from Beavercreek.
Television.
Television programming, that is correct, except for this show, of course. During the Cold War, Senator Joseph McCarthy thought he saw a communist everywhere. Reds were to be feared, but so were Andy from Rushi.
McCarthyism.
Let me finish the question for Beavercreek. Reds were to be feared, but so were those he thought were even sympathetic to them. This group he labeled with what names? Kevin from Beavercreek.
Pinkos.
He called them Pinkos. That's correct. A Christmas baby in 1642, this English scientist became famous, Steve from Beavercreek,
Sir Isaac Newton.
for discovering gravity. That's correct. Okay, look at your studio monitors again. This world nation is famed for its focus on Steve from Beavercreek.
France.
Art, love, and wine. That is correct for 20 points. He offended Zeus, was forced to roll a boulder to the top of a hill. Joey from Beavercreek.
Sisyphus.
That is correct for 20 points. In 1904, the story of Peter Pan first appeared. He took the 3 darling children on a trip to Neverland. Mark from Rushi.
London.
No, incorrect. Let me finish the question for Beavercreek. Name all 3 of the darling children. That was their last name, Darling. Steve.
Wendy, John, and Michael.
That is correct for 20 points. Some elements have atoms that differ in the number of neutrons they possess. Kevin from Beavercreek.
Isotopes.
Isotopes is correct for 20 points. Although he's now associated with the state of Texas, it is not where President George Bush was born. Which state claims him as its son? Andy from Rushi.
California.
Incorrect. Beavercreek, chance to steal. Steve.
Connecticut.
Close. Massachusetts. These are all mammals. Gray squirrels, grizzly bears, kangaroos, and moose. Which one has the shortest average lifespan? Steve from Beavercreek.
Gray squirrels.
No, that's incorrect. Rushi, chance to steal. Andy.
Moose.
Kangaroos live to an average age of 7. The book was by Frank Baum. The musical, Andy from Russia.
The Wizard of Oz.
Opened in 1903 and later became a very popular movie that has just been re-released. She was the Queen of Britain for 63 years. Steve from Beavercreek.
Queen Victoria.
That is correct. She died at the age of 82. Anger, envy, and sloth are Andy from Russia.
The Seven Deadly Sins.
They are 3 of the 7 deadly sins. That is correct. The others are pride, greed, lust, and gluttony. In physics, the wheel and axle are examples of what type of Steve from Beavercreek?
Simple machine.
That is correct. Very basic equipment. In July 1998, the Baseball All-Star Game brought honors to Roberto Alomar. Name the honor he received. Andy from Russia.
MVP.
He was the MVP of that game. That's correct. Last summer, an Ohio-born movie, TV, and record star with the stage name of Roy Rogers, a singing cowboy, died. His wife was also a star in all of those areas. Steve from Beavercreek.
Dale Evans.
Her name was Dale Evans. That's correct for 20 points. It is based upon work by Arab astrologers, but was developed by the West. We use it to keep track of the year and the time. Joey from Beavercreek.
Calendar.
I need more than that.
The sun-based calendar.
No, incorrect. Let me finish the question for Rushi. We use it to keep track of the year and the time. What is the name of this calendar used by the West? Andy.
The Roman calendar.
No, the Gregorian calendar is what we were looking for. Within Islam, there are 2 major divisions, such as Protestant. Kevin from Beavercreek.
Sunni and Shiite.
That is correct for 20 points. Which of the following composers was the most prolific, whose music would take the longest to play if all compositions were performed in sequence? Was it Haydn, Bach, or Schubert? Andy from Russia.
Haydn.
Joseph Haydn's compositions would take 340 hours to play. That's correct. John Howard is the prime minister for a Western nation which is located in the East. In what nation does he serve and enjoys summer in January? Joey from Beavercreek.
Australia.
He's the Prime Minister of Australia. That's correct. Cartoon characters sometimes become a part of our own lives. Name the cartoon in which Billy, PJ, and the dog Steve from Beavercreek.
Family Circus.
The dog Barfy is in the Family Circus. That's correct. Horace Mann has been called the father of the common school, public school, that is. For 13 years, he was the state commissioner of schools. Joey from Beavercreek.
Antioch.
No, that's incorrect. Let me finish the question for Rushi. 13 years, he was the state commissioner of schools in the 1830s. What was the state? Andy.
Ohio.
Massachusetts. He later lived in Ohio and was president of Antioch College. Ben Franklin's Academy, private high school in Philadelphia, was begun in 1751, but it failed in that role, only to later emerge eventually as what Ivy League university in the same city? In Philadelphia. Andy from Russia.
Brown.
Incorrect. Beavercreek chance to steal. Anita.
U of Penn.
Yeah, University of Pennsylvania. That's correct for 20 points. What major world religion? Yep, we're out of time. That's all we've got for today between Beavercreek and Russia. We'll be back to check out the final score of today's game right after this. I don't think I'm wrong to say the highest scoring team in HiQ history continues to roll along. The Beavercreek Beavers, 655 points as they win for the 4th consecutive game and advance on to our championship finals at the end of the season. Beavercreek will see you this spring. Rushi, thanks for joining us and best of luck to you all. Next week, it's going to be 2 new teams, Marion Local against Stebbins on HiQ.